Hey, what's going on, everyone? You're listening to WSOU. I am Nick, and I'm here with Johnny from the Browning. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
So I'm pretty pumped to be talking to you because I've been enjoying the new album you guys put out not too long ago, Isolation. How has that been so far?
It's been good. The reaction's been good. I personally like the album a lot, and it sold well. Everything with it so far is doing well.
Now, is this a good trajectory for where you saw the band going? Because it's been a couple years now since you guys put out. I think it's been 3 years. Because I know I was always like, when are they going to be putting out new music? And it finally happened. But is this kind of where you wanted to be at?
Yeah, I think it's by far our best album yet. And over the course of the past 3 years, like my musical taste has changed quite a bit, and that had a big impact on this album. In the sense of I've been listening to like a lot more rock over the past years, and I kind of have strayed away from metal. Obviously, it's still a metal album, but
Right.
there's a lot more influences from rock as far as comes as like structure, and there's some choruses and just certain aspects. Definitely more influenced from that, and I felt it made the album a lot more mature in a lot of ways.
Right, because that was something, especially you mentioned the influence aspect. I discovered you guys in, I think it was probably Revolver or Metal Hammer magazine. There was a write-up about you guys, and what caught me was the combination of the electronic and metal music, and that for me is really either hit or miss, and you guys are definitely on the hit side of that. And I think that's interesting that you said, you're more on the rock influence. So what kind of, set you in the direction to kind of combine electronic and metal? Because, for some people it works, some people it doesn't. Some people thinks it's just trendy, other people it's too tacky. But you guys really pull it off. What is it that really made you want to combine the two the way you did?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I've been doing the Browning. I started as a solo project whenever I was like 15,
Right.
so like almost 10 years ago. And throughout high school, I was big into certain types of techno, specifically hardstyle, and I was also into metal like Hatebreed, As I Lay Dying, and hardstyle. It's a European type of dance music that it's really heavy and dark and aggressive. It's not like happy hardcore techno. It's all
Right.
cheesy and crap. Like hardstyle is very dark,
Yeah.
and that's what attracted me to it so much. And so I was like, well, why don't I take the heaviest dance music and combine it with heaviest metal? Because I started realizing a lot of metal and a lot of hardstyle was around the same tempo.
Okay.
And so like, look, I take this hard, aggressive, dark dance music and put it with hard, aggressive, dark metal, and it works well together. And that's whenever I started back then. Obviously, I was 15. I didn't know what the crap I was doing with music production, but the idea was there, and I was trying my best.
Right.
But I've over the course of the years, I've gotten better and better at writing it, and really combining the two. And I'm the same way. I actually don't really like any other bands that do combine electronics with metal. 'Cause I feel like they all do it wrong.
Yeah.
It's for them, they kind of scatter it random throughout, and so it's not like a coherent thing together. Like when it comes to the Browning, like my focus is making the electronics and the metal one thing.
Right.
And so it's like a true cohesion between the two. And I spent a lot of time on it. I mean, I spent 2 years writing Isolation, and about 8 months straight of just writing the album.
So how does that work for you writing wise? Do you focus more on what comes first, the electronic parts, or since it runs all the way through the song, what's the structure of your song? What's the backbone?
It's both aspects is both. They all come at the same time. Like I don't ever write a metal song and just put electronics on, because that's what the other bands that do electronics do. They don't write it together.
Right.
The electronics is an afterthought to them. But to me, I can either be jamming on keyboard and come up with something, and then think about what I can do metal-wise, or the other way around, come up with a guitar riff and I mean, I've been writing it for so long now that I kind of like, whenever I write a certain type of thing, I kind of know what kind of electronic is going to happen or could happen. And
Okay.
sometimes I'll have an idea for something specific, like I'll be thinking in my head, like, oh, it'd be cool if I had like this kind of breakdown pattern with this specific type of electronic on it, or, you know, whatever. There's never a time when I write something with metal and I'm like, you know, don't really think about the electronics. It's always at the same time. Like,
Okay.
whenever I write songs, it's not jammed at all. It's very meticulous. And so I go part by part whenever I write songs, and I don't ever go to the next part without figuring out everything for that one part.
Oh, okay. Now, since you said, you know, the way you write that, would you ever want to do, I know I'm going to mention in a minute about doing vocal collabs, but would you ever want to do like a DJ collab at all?
Oh yeah, I actually on this album to help me step up the production because you know, I'm not a professional electronic dance music producer, you know,
Right.
and so I had my friend, his name's Thad. He has a project called Phasmatis. He super good DJ, makes insane electronic music. He really helped me make the beats and stuff on the album a lot more professional sounding.
Okay.
And also pushed me in the right direction of getting certain synth sounds to sound better. And so he helped me throughout this album a few times. I think he helped on like 4 or 5 songs. So yeah, but I would love to work with other DJs whenever it came to electronics and whatnot. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Almost like, I don't know, well, like you said, you don't really like how bands combine the metal electronic. Like, you almost do like a Korn kind of thing. Every song was a different producer. What was your thoughts on that album?
I thought it was cool. It was, you know, obviously not many people were expecting it.
Right.
And yeah, it was interesting. But like, I'm not like a big anymore. I don't really listen to dance music much.
Right.
But and I especially was never really into dubstep. I was never, even though the Browning has some dubstep aspects.
Yeah.
As a whole, music-wise, I was never a big fan of dubstep, but I thought it was cool that Korn was going outside their realm, though. So
Right.
I appreciate anyone that tries to be creative, because music is so bland and freaking boring now that anyone that tries something different, I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. Now, would you try experimenting with anything in the future, like you said, with a different maybe genre or different, you know, style that you're not really using?
Well, for the Browning specifically, no, but I'm working on like a rock project on my own for the side. Because my big thing is the Browning is a very, very specific sound, and we're the only band in the world that sounds like it. And so I wouldn't want to change that and affect people who like it, because you know, it's a once in a lifetime sound that no other band has.
Oh, for sure.
And is going to have. So I don't want to change it, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Even if it doesn't blow up, I'd rather it, you know, be done and be small and stay true to what it was, rather than change it and try to make it popular.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to see the rock project, or is this kind of just like a thing for you on the side?
It's something that I've actually been working on it for about 2 years, about 2.5 years actually. Really fine-tuning like what I want it to actually sound like, and everything. Like I said, I'm very meticulous whenever I write music, and when it comes to rock, there's like 10 different styles of rock alone that you can do, and so I've been really trying to fine-tune what style of whatever, so that the band is unique, and eventually it will come out. But you know, it's more than like, I would like to have like mystery members to where people don't even know that I'm in it.
Oh, okay. So,
just, I don't know. I'm kind of weird about it. I like to
keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, like I mentioned with the collabs, you did the collaboration with Frankie Palmieri from Amira, which I thought fit really well. I wasn't sure how it was going to sound. Really, Frankie's, contribution definitely fit well. So how did that come about that you wanted him on a track?
Well, back whenever this was still just a solo project of mine, there was about a 2-year period where the Browning was all rap electronic metal.
Yeah, right.
And so a big thing on this album is I wanted to bring that back for a song, was to have a big rap part in a song, kind of to throw back to that stuff, because I really did enjoy making that style. And so we were going, originally we were shooting for like an actual rapper.
Right.
We were really shooting for Tech Nine.
Okay.
But it came through that he's in the middle of working on an album, and so he wasn't able to do anything with ours, and we couldn't put off our album to wait for him.
Right.
So, but through talking to him, Tech Nine said he'd be interested in doing something in the future with us. So awesome. we might do like a single or something with him featured on it. But after we didn't get Tech Nine, then we started looking more in our scene for people that could fit, and Frankie is just an obvious choice for that. He has a really dynamic voice when it comes to his kind of like clean, aggressive talking like he does in the rap, and then also his scream. And so it fit well because he got to do the rapping, which sounded really good, and he also did the screaming, which sounds good too. So it was the one thing though is the Browning doesn't cuss in any of our songs, and so I kind of hit him up and I was like, hey, whenever you're writing these lyrics, can you try not to be too vulgar or anything? Right. He was like, well, it'd be weird to have a Frankie part and not have something vulgar in it. So I went ahead and gave him the thumbs up on doing whatever he wanted. So
okay. Now, are we going to see any other, like you said, Tech Nine? Is there anything else that you'd want to work with in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to work with Tech Nine. It'd be cool to get some guest people for choruses like Jonathan Davis or choruses are definitely something that will be in the future of the Browning. More than likely the next album will push more towards that, more like an industrial rock metal band, and so there'll be choruses in the future. And so the next album would be cool to get some guest people on courses like Jonathan Davis or something.
Okay. And that, like you mentioned, I just wanted to mention because I was going through the other day, I was on your Wikipedia and I saw, because like you mentioned, you used to do kind of more rap, and you had former vocalist Matt Keck. It mentioned in the Wikipedia, because I was like, I don't know, it's Wikipedia, it might not be true, but if it was, I was going to be amazed. It said that he was in Tosh.0. He's that I'm a Snake guy. Is that really true?
Yeah, he's my brother-in-law.
Whoa, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I was like, that's ridiculous, but so cool.
Yeah, I actually helped him edit that video. Me and my sister were, whenever we moved down to Dallas, actually, to start up the Browning as a full-time band, they moved down there with me to help me get it going. And he was a stand-up comedian, and he was starting to do these. Me and him, if you go look at his YouTube channel, there's actually a ton of them with me in it.
Oh, okay.
Doing really retarded skits. And he showed me and my sister this like 12-minute video of him with that snake hat on. I'm like, dude, you cannot post that. That is retarded. And so me and him edited it down to like 3 minutes, and he posted it, and then it took off. So
that's crazy. I had no idea. When I read that, I was like, I don't know, is this one someone just trolling? But I was like, I have to ask. There has to be some kind of truth to the story. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But another interesting thing, which as of recently I've seen picked up a lot. I mean, obviously you have the song "I Choose You," but heavy Pokemon theme I've seen lately, like on the Facebook.
Oh yeah,
definitely something you've been into lately a lot more.
Well, yeah, it's something I've been into my entire life.
Right.
Actually, if you go look on Matt's YouTube channel, me and him 6 years ago did a Pokemon cuss words video where we were cussing back and forth at each other, but using Pokemon names and stuff. And so Pokemon has been embedded in my life forever. And so with Pokemon Go coming out, it was just kind of inevitable that I'd be playing it nonstop.
So I'm assuming being on tour is definitely a hot spot for that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet. We're going over to Europe in like a week or something, and there's, I think, Mr. Mime. You can only get Mr. Mime in Europe, so we'll be trying to get that.
That was a pretty sick tour lineup I saw too. With you're doing the tour with I Killed the Prom Queen over there.
Yep.
Now, are we gonna see anything back in the U.S. soon?
Yeah, we're looking for the fall in the U.S. We don't have anything lined up right now, but something will get set up.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And also wanted to see how, because you guys switched labels this time around. You're on Spine Farm now.
Yeah.
So how was that with the switch over? Because sometimes, some bands like it more than others, but it seemed like it fit well.
It's good. Like, obviously, I'm not going to talk too much crap, but Earache was an awful label for us, and they weren't doing what we needed, and I felt like we outgrew them to an extent, and they weren't treating us right, and it was just god awful. So I went through a big process of getting off the contract and everything, and that's actually why the album took so long to put out, was because it took a year and a half for me to do everything I needed to get off the contract.
Okay.
And so, doing the switch was a very necessary thing. I was not going to put out another album on Earache. That was 100% a thing.
Yeah.
And so, but Spine Farm has been treating us awesome. It's really crazy to be with a label that's treating us well,
Of course.
To feel like they actually like what we're doing and willing to invest in it was something I hadn't experienced with a label. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. And I guess we'll start to wrap up. Anything that you want to add?
No, I mean, if you haven't listened to the Browning, Isolation is the album to do it to. I feel it's our best one and our one that could be widely liked. And if someone's always questioned what the Browning is and if they like it or not, I would suggest to come see us live, because it's a different experience from any other metal band.
Oh, for sure. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.